Welcome to an era where the line between life and death was as thin as a single drop of concentrated medicinal syrup in the dark. In the 19th century, a single dose of medicine could save your life or lead you to the grave faster than the actual disease itself. The streets of London and Oslo were filled with the sound of carriage wheels and the whispers of a society obsessed with new scientific wonders. Behind every elegant smile and polished appearance lay a hidden world of dangerous remedies and toxic secrets that many took for granted every single day. We approached the local apothecary, a place where vibrant colours hid the dark reality of what was truly being sold to the unsuspecting and desperate public. Every bottle on these shelves promised a miracle, but many contained ingredients that would be considered highly illegal and extremely dangerous in our modern world today. Step inside the shadows where the pharmacist blends chemistry with folklore, creating potions that could either heal the weary soul or end a life instantly. The rhythmic sound of hooves on stone echoes through the damp night air, carrying patients toward their final hope or their ultimate and silent demise. A dropped bottle, a forgotten dose, and a life changed forever by the wonders of Victorian medicine. Let us uncover the truth behind these strange remedies. The pharmacist's hands are steady as he prepares a mixture of heroin and alcohol, a common remedy sold over the counter for a simple winter cough. Names that today signify dangerous narcotics were once household brands, trusted by families to soothe pain and provide quick relief for children and adults alike. Children were often given cocaine drops for their toothaches, as parents unknowingly fed their little ones substances that would lead to a lifetime of addiction. The addictive nature of these remedies was rarely mentioned, leaving many Victorian citizens trapped in a cycle of dependency they could not understand or escape. Each preparation was a gamble, a mixture of potent chemicals and raw extracts that had never been tested for safety or long-term effects on the body. Profit often came before safety, as the demand for quick fixes drove the market for these powerful elixirs, regardless of the human cost involved in them. Newspapers were filled with bold claims of health and vitality, luring the sick into buying bottles of what were essentially diluted poisons or highly addictive drugs. One spoonful was all it took to ease the pain, but it also began the slow erosion of the mind and body for thousands of people. The physical toll of these drugs was visible on the streets, as the effects of chronic opium use became a silent epidemic in the Victorian urban landscape. In this quiet corner of the shop, the most dangerous substances in the world were sold with a smile and a promise of a better tomorrow. They were the pioneers of a pharmaceutical revolution, but they were also the victims of a time that prioritized relief over the preservation of human health. Arsenic was the secret behind the hauntingly pale skin of the upper class, a deadly poison used daily in the name of Victorian fashion and beauty. The quest for a porcelain complexion led many women to ingest small amounts of thatchtine, slowly poisoning their blood for the sake of aesthetic perfection. The stunning green gowns of the era were dyed with arsenic, releasing toxic dust that could cause skin sores and even death for those wearing them. Beauty was quite literally a killer, as these garments turned every social gathering into a slow-moving tragedy of chemical exposure for the fashionable elite of London. Belladonna, or beautiful lady, was used to dilate the pupils, creating a seductive gaze that often resulted in blurred vision and eventually permanent blindness for many. To have the perfect eyes, Victorian women risked their sight, using the poisonous nightshade plant to achieve a look of constant, dreamy and dangerous arousal. Edible arsenic wafers were marketed as complexion cleansers, promising to remove blemishes while they secretly destroyed the liver and kidneys from the inside out. The cost of vanity began to show in the physical decay of the very beauty they sought to preserve through the use of these toxic cosmetic products. Even the walls of Victorian homes were dangerous, as arsenic-based wallpapers poisoned the air that families breathed every single day and night in their houses. For many, the dream of eternal beauty ended in a nightmare of chronic pain, hair loss, and a slow, agonizing death hidden behind a mask of makeup. Victorian women were the unwitting laboratory subjects of a beauty industry that valued the final image more than the actual lives of its loyal customers. Tired mothers often turned to soothing syrups to calm their restless children, unaware that these sweet liquids contained lethal amounts of morphine and strong alcohol. Marketed as a safe way to ease teething pain, these baby killers silenced the cries of infants by putting them into a dangerous drug-induced state of unconsciousness. Behind the wholesome branding lay a deadly mixture that claimed the lives of thousands of infants, who simply never woke up from their chemically induced slumber. In many households, the silence of the nursery was a terrifying sign that the dosage had been too high for a small, fragile human heart to handle. A silent tragedy played out in thousands of homes, where the very medicine intended to comfort a child became the instrument of their tragic and early end. The grief of Victorian parents was often compounded by the realization that their own trust in modern medicine had led to the loss of their beloved children. The legacy of these soothing syrups is a dark chapter in medical history, reminding us of the dangers of unregulated substances sold to the most vulnerable. Every black ribbon on a door told a story of a life cut short by a bottle of what was promised to be a miracle cure for infants. The cost of a quiet night was often too high, a price paid in the blood and the future of an entire generation of innocent Victorian children.
The lab results confirm
These small
our suspicion,
graves
Mrs.
stand as a
Johnson.
testament to a time
It
when
appears to
medicine
be
was a
mercury
gamble,
poisoning.
and the odds were stacked heavily against the very young and weak. Mercury was once the standard treatment for syphilis, a cure that was often more destructive and painful than the actual disease it was meant to fight. Patients were subjected to salivation therapy, where they were given enough mercury to cause them to drool uncontrollably for weeks on end as a cure. The medical belief was that the violent reaction of the body was a sign that the toxins were being purged, but in reality the organs were failing. Mercury attacked the central nervous system, leading to tremors, mood swings, and a slow descent into madness that many mistook for the disease's progression itself. Captured through a hidden lens, these moments of medical suffering reveal the grim reality of a profession that was still stumbling through the dark of ignorance. To many doctors of the time, the more extreme the treatment, the more effective it was perceived to be, regardless of the patient's visible and agonizing decay. The physical remnants of these treatments left a trail of toxic waste and broken bodies in the quest for a cure that was purely mythical and deadly. They came to the doctor for help, but left with a body poisoned by the very substances they were told would bring them back to health again. The liquid silver was a curse disguised as a remedy, a symbol of an era where science and superstition were often one and the same thing. Victorian medicine was a brutal teacher, leaving behind a legacy of pain and a desperate need for a more compassionate and scientific approach to healing. As we step back from the lens of history, we see a world of profound ignorance fueled by a desperate, tragic longing for a better life. These were the faces of an era that survived plagues and poisons, their stories etched into the very fabric of the medical world we know today. The fog of the past hides many secrets, many. But the lessons learned from the dangerous remedies of the Victorian age remain clear and very much alive. Every broken bottle represents a life that was touched by the strange and often deadly world of 19th century medicine and its unregulated chemical wonders. The bells toll for those who are lost in the search for healing, a reminder of the high price paid for the medical knowledge we have now. Looking through the keyhole of time, we find a society that was brave, desperate, and ultimately human in its search for relief from its many sufferings. Victorian medicine serves as a stark warning about the importance of scientific rigour and the constant need for vigilance in the world of modern healthcare. Thank you for walking with us through the shadows of the past. May we always remember the thin line that separates a cure from a curse. Join us next time as we continue to uncover the hidden stories and dark secrets that lie buried beneath the long and winding road of history.